lovers, to the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show. As your host, you know what I do? I focus on getting you solutions and strategies to any type of relationship. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. You're single, married, dating, shacking, heterosexual, homosexual. I don't care. You know why I do this. I do it because y'all make an assumption that the other know. And we need more information. So what we got to do? We got to solve the problems or the issues by giving you tips and techniques and ideas and advice. So we're going to have a great show that we're going to talk about today. Because today we're talking about why do a person take a break from a relationship. Now with me, I have a special guest with me, Lewis Johnson. Welcome.
How are you?
Great, great. Thank you to the Love Dr. Pamela Smith
Glad
Show.
to be here.
As we talk about all kinds of love and
Yes.
all kinds of relationships. Now, to my special guests that don't know about you, to all the listeners, Mr. Johnson is from New York. You're a native of Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, that's right.
But now you are residing in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now let me tell you some few things about Mr. Johnson. Okay. Now he's a corporate labor relationship manager, certified as in peer mediations, and a Christian single does Christian single ministry as part of that. As a matter of fact, why don't you give them more information about who you are and what you do?
Well, like you said, I'm Lewis Johnson, so definitely thank Pamela for inviting me on the show. So I am a peer mediation. Well, I'm certified in peer mediation, as well as I'm studying NLP, which is the study of the brain and between the brain and behavior and how we behave based on what you think. So that's one of the things I've decided to do, incorporating that with Men Loving Right, which is my IG page. Hopefully we can kind of go to that. My Men Loving Right page is basically, it talks about how men who are at the point where they know how to love, and they have a better understanding about what love is, and they feel that they have the ability and the skills to be able to teach and get a better understanding about what it is to be in a relationship, which I firmly believe a lot of women need, because when most people think women have the natural ability of learning love and knowing what love is, that's not true.
Not true.
So, and that's why with Men Loving Right, that's what we do. That's one of the things that I cater to and study.
Yeah, see, and that's a good thing, because we need more men who are taking the time to study it. Because let's talk about this for a minute real quick. The reality is we have a lot of men out here
That's true.
talking about relationships, say they know what's going on. I, in my opinion, believe that they're getting most of their information based on their experience. They're not actually studying like you are. They're not actually getting into the actual reasons we do what we do in relationships, why they're not successful, why they're successful, why a high rate of divorce, why we don't know how to love. Most men that are out there talking out there, they're not actually taking the time to really study. And that's why I'm glad you're here and being a part of the show, because as you know, my audience know I studied love, and I got a master in relationships, certified. You're certified. We study it. We talk it. We do it. We don't just do it for the moment. We love it. We love what we do, and that's helping people with their relationships. Now, what we were going to talk about today was why a person would take a break from a relationship. Why would a person take a break from a relationship? So I want to first, we're gonna talk about what is taking a break, because see, and we're gonna get on that first, because men have a different reason why they take a break, and women have a reason why they take a break. And I'm gonna like this one, because we got to talk about this for a minute, because the reality is taking a break is different from both of us, and I know for a fact it is. And let me be good. What's your thing that you find men will take a break?
Well, there's a universal reason why both men and women want to take a break.
Okay.
Number one, they want to explore other options. Let's keep it real. Or they are in a situation where they are afraid to tell someone to call it quits. Or they don't know how to call it quits. or they really like someone and they just really don't want to hurt their feelings. But 9 times out of 10, when you talk about taking a break, and I know for men, as a male, if a woman says to me she wants to take a break, that means that she's trying to go somewhere else.
Okay.
That's
so
just
that's,
me.
That's the man.
That's just me.
Okay. So now let's talk about why women make a decision and say, we're taking a break. We need to take a break.
Okay.
Now, the reason women would take a break from a guy is that one, is not really into that guy. Ain't no taking a break, because we take a break, we gone.
That's right.
Okay. Women don't take no breaks. Women, we in, when we in, we all in.
Mm-hmm.
When we out, we out. Ain't no taking a break. Now, if you decide to take a break, do you? That's the way women are. We taking no break now. Now, when you tell me we taking a break, it's a wrap.
That's right.
Okay, now that's for the women. Now, the other reason women take a break, she's not into you. She don't really want to be with you. She's done. She don't like you anymore. If she said to you, I'm taking a break, things have changed. My love for you have changed. Either the sex has gotten bad.
Okay.
I'm just being real. Something that changed that made me take a break. Now, if I really, truly take that break, like if I'm saying I'm going to take a break, and let's take a break, I was never in it in the first place. And thinking you coming too hard, you smothering. You coming a little too hard. So I'm like, okay, we need to take a break.
Okay.
Because you're doing just a little too much, and I need to breathe. And that could be a male insecure male, which could be controlling and insecure. So those are my things I find that, and there's more now. We never have the whole gist, but because of the sake of the show, we're giving our main things of what we find. That taking the break, and most of my listeners know, me personally taking a break. Are we talking about single? We talking about the singles, right?
Yes.
Are we talking about the shackers?
Well, relationships, singles, it can be both. Again, there are different meanings behind it.
Well, here's the problem. The shackers think they can take a break. You can't live with somebody and take a break. You either in or you out on it, because if you're shacking, it's almost like you're married.
Okay.
But they think they can take a break. Did you know that?
Well, that's why I said that from before. That's basically what it is. So that's why I said from a male perspective, hey, listen, if we take a break, we want to see somebody else, or we just sometimes don't want to hurt your feelings.
But the shackers think that if we living together, and we don't get along, and we got an issue, he talking about we need to take a break. Now I got to move out.
There's no break on that. We live together. It's going to be, we're just going to depart ways because I'm not going to be living with you and we taking breaks.
Okay, so then why? Because we living together, we take a break, we part ways. It's not the same when you're not living together.
Because you got to be up under someone. You're talking about someone's personal space.
Yeah, but it's still the same. If we living separately and we taking a break, it's the same. It's the same. One in on the other.
I don't think it's the same. I think it's different. I think it's totally different.
Okay, so if we're living together, not married, and we take a break, now how we gonna take a break? You going upstairs, downstairs? Where we going?
Well, that's why I said if you take a break, it's a done deal. I mean, really, if you take a look at it, it would be kind of a done deal.
But why it's not a done deal when you don't live together?
Because then, when you don't live together, there are options. Let's keep it real. There are options when you don't live together.
Okay.
You don't have to call. I think sometimes when you're not living together and you take a break, sometimes you just want to take a break from the nagging. You want to take a break from feel like you're locked in. And I'm being honest with you. There's sometimes the accountability that some women put on men that they want every single day, that if I don't call you that day for whatever reason, you got a problem with it.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's the same thing. That woman is insecure. She is not loving herself like she should. She's wants you to satisfy her happiness versus her satisfying her own happiness. So it's a lot of things that go down with why a woman smothers and a man smothers. We do smother differently, but we both smothers either way it go. But that has a lot to do with being insecure, want to be you only, Um, Nobody
else. That's what I'm saying. Either
Yeah.
way, from a male perspective, whether I'm living with you or not living with you, it's the same thing. I want to not feel like I'm being locked down. I want to feel like I'm not being smothered. So even if we're not living together, I still may feel like I'm being smothered because you may be coming over there.
Yeah, but it happens if you're married too, because they're married sometimes, and married people get tired.
Well,
but they can't take a break. That's why we talking about this, because if you're gonna be in a relationship, ain't no such thing as taking a break. You either in or you out. If it's not working, y'all got to figure it out. Now, Louis don't agree with me. We're gonna talk about this when we come back, because we coming back with some what caused this. Because hey, we either together or we not. Do you and I'm gonna do me, but we not taking no break. I don't know what no break is. Anyway, we coming back. We'll be right back in just a few minutes here on Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show. Welcome back, lovers, to the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show, and I'm here with my special guest, Louis Johnson, and relationship expert. What do you want? What would
Peer mediator.
Peer mediator. That's one of the greatest relationship. Yes, that's the good one, right?
We'll stick with that.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. So now, before we left, we were talking about what's taking a break. So that's the topic of the show today. We're talking about why would a person take a break. Now, when we just left for a minute, we were talking about, well, why you're taking a break. And I want to know, well, what? Because my thing is either you're in or you're out. So what causes a person to want to take a break? I mean, what reason would you have a conversation with me about having to take a break? I'm lost.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I mean, although we talked about in the last segment, some of that stuff kind of falls into the causes as well.
Yes.
But some of the main things that I've seen, that I've studied, so here's apart from keeping it real versus some things that I've studied.
Okay.
There was a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're keeping it real, like you said from part of the first part is you feel crowded, you feel overwhelmed, you want to try something different. But in some of the studies that I've done, it comes from sometimes there may be some legit situations. It may be a situation that's a crisis in the family, that you're not ready to kind of, be a part of anything, that you can't move forward in a relationship. So you really have to go home, or you really have to take a break from anything outside to focus strictly on your family or what needs to happen personally. So that can mean something.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking. That's what I talk about. Because when you're in a relationship, I have just talked about that on the last show. There's an order that you're in when it comes to relationship if you're not married. So what we're talking about right now, it appears we're talking about being single. What single people would mostly do when
well,
they
same
are
thing in a
married.
relationship, because you're still single in a relationship.
Well, let me talk about that order for a minute. Because if we're single and dating in a committed relationship, I'm not at the top. Because you just said, okay, I have a family crisis going on, so I have to go handle that. Your family crisis, if you're married, is your husband.
Correct.
But when you're a girlfriend, you're at the bottom. Because a girlfriend doesn't come before mama, daddy, and sister, brothers. Because you didn't make a decision to make the girlfriend engaged yet, or somebody who's going to marry. So they come after.
So guess where that comes from? Me not feeling comfortable or confident in you as my woman to bring you in a situation that can help me with it.
Okay, so then while we're taking a break, that means our relationship is not sound if you need to take a break from me. So the whole point about love and us loving each other is if something about me is causing you not to bond or have a conversation where I can help it, there's something about me is not the person that you see to take to the next level. It's no possible way you would want to separate from me, take a break away from me, because if I'm truly the mate for you, I'm not going to do the nagging, the bothering, the where you at, where you going, why we not, what's this. Your true mate that makes you happy, when you say, babe, I'm going downstairs and I'm going to read for a minute, I'll be back in a second. Your mate say, okay. Or babe, I need just to take a day to breathe because I had a lot of issues at the job. I may not be as active into our relationship as I should be. Just give me a minute.
Right.
If she's your mate, her comment is, okay, I understand. That's the problem that we're having. We're not connecting right. So what we're doing is wasting our time.
Well, I can agree with you on that. I think the communication may not be right, or the being able to accommodate for whatever reason. So the communication barrier may be broken. We may not be able we may not be communicating at the level that I think. So for me to ask you to do something because I need to take a break and you say okay, we're on the same page. But if you give me pushback, there's a disconnect from that. Either you don't want something from me, and part of love is giving up something that you may not want to do for someone else, and vice versa. That person may not be there yet. I may not have that confidence, and maybe I just need a certain type of support. Great woman, I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yes.
But the support that I probably need, especially if it's a family situation, that may be something that's part of it. And if she trusts me, then you know what? That taking a break is just something to deal with something. She don't have to think that it's about me going to see somebody else. I'm just saying.
Well, let's be real.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
but
let's talk about
that's
that
the
for a
starting
minute.
part.
Because the break also has to do with what causes the break sometimes is what? Another person.
Another person.
Let's be real. Sometimes men come to, well, I don't think this is working out. I'm gonna have to take a break right now. We can get back together in about a month, right? And that's bullshit. He just taking a break because he want to go be a hoe. That's all it is. I mean, let's be real. And this is the problem I have when I talk about men lying and why we have that disconnect. Why you just say you want to go deal with another woman and right now, or you want to have an open relationship and get to know another woman, because right now I'm not really truly sure if this is something I can deal with, because it's got to be something about that woman that's an issue.
Well, it could be. So here's another real part.
Okay.
It's moving too fast. I may not
What's moving too fast?
So I personally believe, and some of the things that I've learned is that when a man pursues a woman and he's pursuing her, he's not loving her. He's pursuing her. He's gaining her confidence, and for her to say, yes, I would love to be around you. You do all the good things for me. But in the meantime, she is falling in love with me. She is falling with all the things that I love to do. Mm-hmm. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So she may be in a situation where she loved everything that I do for her so much, it could be a little too much too fast, and she has to wait so that I catch up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that I catch up to where she is.
But I thought you was already a step ahead.
No, she has. No, I didn't say a step ahead. I said because I'm pursuing her doesn't make me a step ahead. The pursuing is just me finding interest in her.
Okay, but
she falls in love first.
But what signs are you giving her though?
I'm being a gentleman. I'm doing all those things that I'm interested in her.
Okay.
I'm finding interest in her, which is great. I can do that. Yeah. I'm not loving her yet.
I got you.
That's the misconnect. I'm not loving her yet. I'm getting her to find interest in me. Right. Just because I do nice things, I buy her things, we go places, we talk about sweet nothings, doesn't mean I love you.
Yeah. That means you're enjoying a relationship with someone that you don't mind spending time with.
Correct. So then when she comes strong to me and it's like too much, I may need to kind of like, maybe just back off from that a little bit until we can come to an agreement or where we need to be when we have that solid conversation. Okay, so then
what should a man do then if the cause of now I'm at that stage I need to break up with her? What are men needing to do then? Is it that the woman is being clingy now? That you're now saying,
it ain't necessarily, again, it ain't necessarily break up.
Okay.
Okay, so the real part is, I may want to see other people, but that's not really what it is. It could be you just coming on too strong with me at first because of how you feel. Now, I may get there, and I want to get there, but it's on my time.
So what's the length of time? So what is the length of time of a breakup? Is it 1 week, 2 weeks, months?
So that will probably go into the a final observation when we talk about time frame and we talk about what are we going to do in that time frame? When are we going to come back together? And then what are we going to do to progress?
Well, see, and that's something we need to really talk about. Because that's something that you got to talk about when it comes to it. Do you accept it?
Okay. Because
if you're going to accept it, then that's when the time frame comes in.
I agree. Okay.
So we'll do that when we come back. We'll do that. We're going to come back and talk about what do you accept?
Right.
Let's say that. Do you accept a break? Do you accept staying in a relationship when a person say, I need a break? Is this relationship for you? So should you not accept it? So when we come back in a few minutes, we're going to talk about, do you accept it? And if you accept it, what are the grounds
the process
to accept it? So in just a few minutes, we'll be back here with my special guest, Lewis Johnson, as we're talking about the breakups. The breaks, taking a break. We'll be back here at the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show. Welcome back, lovers, to the Love Doctors Pamela Smith Show, and you're here with my special guest, Lewis Johnson, and we are talking about breaks, taking a break from your mate or multiple mates or mate. Just talking about taking a break. Now, when the last segment, we were talking about what causes it, what causes the breakup, why you get to the point that you're going to take a break with someone. Now let's talk about, well, do you accept it? Because that's something you all know, quite frankly, I'm not going to accept a break, because if we're taking a break, something's up and we need to do us. Now, we had a basic relationship and the relationship was us getting to know each other anyway, then I can take a break. But if I'm in a relationship that I think may possibly go to the next level, or we're serious, or I decide that I chose to only be just with you, then if you say it's not working, then I'm not taking a break. We either going to the next level or we're not. Now that's me. Okay. Now, for most women, let's just be real with most women. Most women, they can't accept a break. Let me correct that. Most women have a difficult time accepting a break because in their mind, they think that men are having another relationship going on. Right. And so their mind, they're like, well, no, because that means you want to be with someone else, not actually, maybe we're not getting along, or you're irritating me, or something about you I don't like, the sex has gotten bad now, you know. we don't, the women don't see the other things, they just see that it's someone else. Now what do you think that is?
So I'll give you a twofold about accepting. Okay, on one end, you may not want to accept because you may feel, I don't know, like you've given your all and someone is really feeling rejected. You know, that's on one end. Or you may think they want to see someone else. And I really think it depends on your relationship, what type of love bond that you have, what type of communication you got going. And if you don't accept, then it is what it is. Most likely you're done. Okay? But here's the problem. What happens if you're a good woman and you're a good man, and just for some reason it just wasn't working in that point of time, you separate. What tends to happen? You almost start to really think about each other more often than not.
That's true. That's true.
And this is why the accepting part is not that bad, because it gives you an option to come back and make it a commitment to come back, to say, you know what, we did say we want to come back. We're going to honor that and see what can we do to kind of get it rekindled back again.
So how long am I waiting for you to come back? Give me some time frame, because I don't know about this. You said we may come back together. I don't know what this time frame of would I come back together, because here's what happens. If you, and this is what men don't get, if you give and take to a woman, we need to take a break, you might not be able to come back. Because there may be John and Joe and Charles and Carl waiting around the corner.
I agree.
Okay, so you tell me we're taking a break, and the break, you say, oh, I just need a couple of weeks. When a woman's mind, it sounds like you get ready to take somebody on a trip or something.
So here's why I don't believe that. So here's why I don't believe that. Because women say things and mean another. Just being honest. Women say things and mean another. You may be saying it out of anger. You may be saying it out of just, you're just pissed off.
What because if you really,
absolutely. Because if you really love this man, you ain't going nowhere.
Wait,
hold on a second. If you really love this man, you ain't going nowhere. If he's being honest and open with you, and straightforward, because you always say you want honesty and openness. That's what we want, right? Yes. Okay, so if he's being honest and open with you, give you a time frame and say, hey, listen, a month. Let's take a break for a month. We're going to come back again in a month. Okay, and then we're going to revisit our relationship. We're going to revisit what we got going on, and I'm going to be honest and open with you of what those things that occur, because again, it could have been personal, it could have been family, it could have been all those different things. If you just automatically negate because I want to take a break and lose out on something that's good, and I'm being honest and open with you, I'm not cutting. I'm telling you, it's not. There's no other person, and I'm letting you know this is what it is, giving you a time frame. And what I want to do when we do get back together, I think you should give that a chance. And I think most women lose out on good men that way.
Well, I mean, see, Lewis, here's my thing.
And you ain't going nowhere because if you love me, trust me.
Well, but see, here's the thing. If we have an outstanding relationship and we're getting along and you have, let's say, i.e. family issue.
Okay.
You don't need to take a break from me. All you're asking for is I need to go handle some situations that's going on with the family. I may have to be busy quite a bit. I may not be able to take you places, or us doing what we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to go handle that. I wouldn't tell the woman, let's take a break. I would say these things are going on, because if you're telling me that you want to take a break, you're telling me there's something wrong with our relationship. And if there's something wrong with our relationship, then there's no reason for us to continue at this moment. You have to, if you take that break, you have to take on the responsibility if another person comes in. Because it could happen. It could happen. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. If that person is not the person that you're thinking about making your husband or wife, then.
But you don't know that.
You do know.
No, you don't know that.
You know.
No, I know, but you don't know that. But that's why I said when you the whole point of accepting.
But the man
is a total different. So here's my accepting. Here's what I believe in accepting.
Okay.
I don't believe in total annihilation of us, no more communication.
Well,
okay. So okay, I just want to let you know that I'm still going to have communication with you.
Okay, so what's the break?
Updating you on what's going on or what the situation is. And that's why I said a man with a plan and understand what he wants to do and a time frame, and you accept that, then I'm expecting you not to go out and just be all willy-nilly.
So
I'm giving you some clear-cut information about what I'm doing during this break. And that break is to let you know it's not going to be a daily thing or everyday thing or I'm going to be seeing you all the time, because my attention is not going to be totally focused on just one thing. I have to go ahead and fix something.
But I think, but see, if you tell me we're taking a break,
you can't think. Well, a break is not always something bad.
Okay, then that's that.
And
now let's revisit.
And that's why
taking a break.
And that's why I said
okay,
sometimes.
Sometimes breaks are good. Sometimes breaks
correct.
are bad. So let's talk about that real quick. The good breaks is that you need to handle a situation.
Absolutely.
It could be business. It could be personal, family. It could be right now mental state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the bad could be another woman, another man.
But that's because of misinformation and you thinking on your own what a break is. But if I'm telling you,
if you take
what
a break,
is,
you need to tell me. Talk to me.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna tell you what it is, I'm gonna give you a clear-cut time. I'm gonna give you a reason.
Okay.
You can't all of a sudden go into your own reason of what a break is.
Okay. But most people don't.
They don't. But that's where that communication.
So we're gonna give them the solutions when we come back. We're gonna give you the right solution to what you do in these type of breaks. You just don't take a break and walk on and don't communicate. So we're going to talk about that because it's so important. When we come back, we're going to get right into how we're going to help you solve the breaks. Do you take breaks? What breaks are considered a break, a good break to take? And what is not considered a break? It's not a break. That means you need to keep it moving. So we're going to come back with some solutions on that. And I mean, the time has gone by so quick. I appreciate, Mr. Johnson being here with us and talking about a really good topic that we haven't talked about on the men issues here on the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show. It's awesome. Okay, so we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll be back talking about a solution for a break. lovers. Oh wow, time is gone by so fast. We was on a good subject. We're on a subject of, do you take a break? Do you really take a break from relationships? And it's so important for us to understand our relationships, keeping them successful, or do we have unsuccessful relationships? And it has a lot to do with taking a break.
Yes.
So we've been talking about taking a break. Thank you for being a part of the show. But we've got to give you the solutions and make sure that you know if this is something you would do. Would you take the break or would you not? So one thing we mainly talk about when taking a break is communication.
Correct. So there's good breaks and there's bad breaks.
Yes.
Obviously, we know what a bad break is.
Yes.
Right? We already know what that is. There are
Yes.
things that you do, you really just you just want to get rid of the person, and there's no communication about what you want to do. You say yes, okay, fine. Well, you say you take it, I don't care. All right, bye.
Yes.
That's it. We know that's done.
That's done.
But when you look at a good break has a couple different things that deal with being in a relationship already. Number one, communication.
Yeah.
I think one of the main things is being able to communicate your expectations about, okay, listen, since I'm the one initiating the break, I need to be the one to communicate that to you and be clear. So what does that look like? To me, as a male, if I initiate a break, it's because of a specific reason, whether it's family, whether if it's something dealing with, something that's too fast, too soon.
Yes.
I need to explain that to you and be clear about it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I've usually come up with is not only just taking that break and communicating that to you, is also have a plan that when I come back or when we come back to convene with each other, that what are we going to do going forward?
Now you're talking about on the good break.
Correct. This is the good break.
Okay.
This is the good break. What are we going to do going forward? How do
Okay.
we minimize the ability to even have to even take a break for anything? So, and I think I like to plan. I like to plan things out, but I like to be clear on my plans and being able to agree or maybe even disagree.
Well, I mean, because you're saying you have something that's going on, is what you're saying, and
Correct.
so that's why you're saying I just need a little space.
Correct.
And some time, and so therefore that's what you call the plan of a break.
Correct.
Okay.
And part of that would be, hey, listen, this is my plan. It's going to be for a specific time.
Okay.
Or we can agree on the time if you accept. Remember, we talked about accepting or not accepting. So if you
Okay.
accept that, we will agree on a specific time. And then keep this in mind, the communication process stays on point. It may not be as often. And I think when you're in a relationship, when you're really together, it's every day you're talking. Women don't like for you to not call them if let 24 hours go past, or say good night, or good morning, all those different things. Just in case if I forget to do that, it wouldn't be something that you feel like I'm not really paying you no mind or have the interest, continue to have the interest.
Yes, yes.
So that would be the plan. We'd have a plan on that. And then lastly, I will make that time up. I will communicate, hey, this is what we're going to do when we get back together, or once we do convene, I'm going to really make it up to you.
What's the reasonable time?
Well, again, a reasonable time for me would be a month. I think it's a month is a good time to really develop or to kind of get a better understanding of what you really want to do moving forward.
And so, in that during that time, if you're taking a break, are we having sex or not?
Well,
okay. All right.
That's part of the plan.
Yes.
But you know what? Let's be honest.
Be real.
So let's be honest.
Let's be honest
real.
on that.
I would say no. Okay. I want to
glad
give you. I don't want to interrupt that process.
Yes, right.
And the reasoning of why because that will really kind of put a veil in front of why we're taking the break.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, sometimes that works even better because it allows us to kind of really
come back with a tighter bond.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Yes.
But I think the caveat is really me being able to make that time up to you.
Yes.
Whether if it's taking you on a trip or really doing something really nice, buying you a great gift. Listen, I will do that. That's part of making it up. So it's not like, we're taking a break for the worse. It'll be something that we need to really take care of. And it'll be beneficial because I really believe good breaks move relationships forward as opposed to staying in something and struggling.
Well, that's good. I mean, I hope you all are really getting that down because that was very important to talk about. Having a good break and taking a bad break. We know if it's a bad break, you're supposed to continue to move on. It's no break. It's a done deal. A bad break is someone that is not into you, that's not loving you the way you should be loved, and pretty much not making you happy. And so if you take a break of that type of relationship, it's pretty much, don't let someone tell you let's take a break. Pretty much tell that person, no, let's move on. You go your way and I go mine. And we're talking about a bad break. But a good break is what we never really talk about, you know. And so there are many good breaks.
There is such thing.
And so we do need to take a break every now and then.
Yes.
It is so true. And you know, again, if you didn't have your pen and paper, get your pen and paper or rewind the video. Make sure you learn how to communicate. Plan.
Have a plan to move forward.
How you're going to move forward and how
make up that time.
How long it's going to take a break. So you know, I'm glad we did this. You know, it was awesome that we did something talking about break. So before we go, tell the listeners how they can keep up with you, where to find you, what you have going on, what's coming down the road. Give them a lot.
Sure, you can actually you can follow me on Men Lovin' Right, which is my IG name. It's Men Lovin' without the G, right. Also, I have on Wednesdays what we're starting to do back up again, Relationship 204, which we talk some similar about relationships on a next level. So definitely follow me on that. On Facebook, you can follow me, Lewis Johnson, and you can just look me up there. That's just what it is, Lewis Johnson, and kind of add me there. But definitely, I talk about a lot of different things and topics, and I try to keep it real at the same time. Try to give some solutions about what it really is.
Well, great. Hopefully we'll come together. You know, Lewis and I was talking about bringing events together, doing things that we can help our relationships, especially for the singles, because we don't want you to be a part of this high divorce rate. And so we're going to come together and do possibly an monthly event.
Correct.
And help you so you could come out. And we probably take it around the U.S.
Hey,
we don't want to just be in one
everybody
state.
Love.
Everybody need love. So I mean, really, that's a good idea. So now, until next time, guys, remember, stop going through the motion of love. Just get understanding.
Yes.
Don't cloud your mind with the past and what happened. It doesn't matter. Love is always seeking you. It's always seeking you. You remember, love is only delayed. So I want to thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure having you joining me here on the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show and having my special guest, Mr. Lewis Johnson. Make sure you follow him. And remember, if you missed any part of this show, come back on YouTube, on all social medias, and it will be shown. And you'll get to see what we talked about. All talks about what is going on in the relationship and love world. So you've been here with Love Dr. Pamela Smith. Thank you for being a part of my show. We look forward to seeing you again soon.